Hello everybody, welcome back to the layout. Today we'll be making a video on how I ballast my Kato Unitrack. There's many ways to ballast the Unitrack. This is just the way that I do it and the way that works for me. I'll show you all the tools that I use and the techniques to make it look how I have it. We're going to hit up the section from where that ballast ends, probably to about right here on the switch. And I'll show you guys how I do that. It's pretty easy. Let me grab the tools that I use. So here we have my eyedropper I use to put the cement onto the ballast after it's laid. We have wet water here. It's just water with a few drops of dish soap. The scenic cement. My ballast, which I am using fine ballast gray from Woodland Scenics, and a spoon to apply the ballast. So when you apply Kato Unitrack, you want to make sure that you have the switch machine, which is inside the Unitrack. It's that little black tab with the hole there. You want to make sure you mask that off so you don't get any ballast inside of it. Also that little hole there, right where the switch mechanism goes in, you want to make sure you mask that off too, and I'll show you how I have that done on the switch that is masked. Here's how I would mask that off. You see the machine's on the other side, it just goes down to the foam. You can touch up over it later if it's showing through or anything like that. And then that's how you want to cover that up, just to make sure you have it nice enough that it doesn't have any ballast falling through the holes. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your spoon, get some of the ballast out with the spoon, just get enough on it. Probably about that much is pretty good. Just going to put it on the side like this. Okay. And I'll do one more for you guys. Just tapping the spoon to get enough ballast on the sides of the track. Okay. And now I'll go ahead and I'll complete most of this, and then I'll show you how I glue it down and level it. So we have the ballast laid. It's all put down. And what we're going to do is we're going to come back with this. This is a 2-inch fan brush. And you're going to level out and smooth the ballast down. And I'll show you how you do that. So you're just going to take the brush and you're just going to lightly put it down and just run it right across the top of the rails, just like that. Alright, so you do it with both sides. And remember, just very light pressure. Very light pressure. There's barely any pressure I'm putting on it. Alright. Alright. So now with the fan brush, you just want to come down the middle of the rails and just give it a nice brush. That'll push it out of the middle. to make sure we're not gluing anything to the rails. Or the road. We're going to make sure, I'm making sure right now like this, that I am getting it out of the cuts on my level crossing so that I don't hang up any trains. You want to try to get out as much as you can so that you're not gluing it down. That'll actually cause a lot of issues with your trains derailing. You don't want to derail your trains, I know. It makes for very poor operating conditions. And I'm just getting it all off the road. Alright. Remember, you can come back with a vacuum. You can use a handheld vacuum, come back and pick up all the excess. Now, it'll be easy to do that if you have a good handheld vacuum or a shop vac or anything like that. It should work pretty well. And I'm just going to brush this gap back up. There you go. So that it looks nice and flush with the road, since we have been brushing a lot of it off. And actually, if you want, just to get as much off as you can switch to a sponge brush. This is just a 2-inch sponge brush. We're just going to brush some of this off the layout so we don't have so much excess. Just make sure it's off your road. You really want to make sure you get it out. I can't stress this enough, because if you forget and you spray the wet water and you glue it, it will be stuck in there. The only way to get it out maybe would be from pointy tweezers, like very sharp tweezers, something of the like. But we're just touching it up right now. So let me finish that, and then I'll show you how we spray the wet water. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your wet water and you're just going to douse the ballast with your wet water. Just like that. The wet water allows the scenic cement and glue to penetrate all the way through the ballast. And don't worry, if you're using Unitrack, the switches hold up pretty good to water, so I haven't had a problem with that yet. So that looks nice and wet to me. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your eyedropper. You got this right here. Alright. And you're going to apply scenic cement with the eyedropper. You're going to take your scenic cement. You're going to get some in the eyedropper. And you're just going to apply the scenic cement with the eyedropper. Just like this. Give it a nice wet coat. It'll be a little white, then you know you put enough. Try not to do that. Now I gotta clean that up. Go along the ballast just like this. All the way until you finish. As you can see now, we have the entire track ballasted. We have the wet water sprayed on and all of the glue laid. And then now from this point on, all we're doing is the long waiting game for it to dry. Alright. And then I think after I get this ballast done, I will be doing the ground cover for this area here. The basic ground cover. I have a few ideas for that, not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'll be sure to make a layout update video for that one. Alright guys, and that's how you ballast your Kato Unitrack.